Hi, Maria. How are you? This is your second time on the podcast. Always great to have you here. You're one of the first brands that inspired me to do better on social media, to not show massive and huge unboxes. So it's so great to have you back. And for all the new listeners, would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh, hello, Hannah. Well, the pleasure is mine. And yes, of course. Yes, it's Maria. I'm Spanish and I launched, it's going to be pretty much 2 years ago, a slow fashion brand that is made in Spain. And I always say that slow fashion is like a counter movement to fast fashion, but there's just not one formula. So the brand, my brand is called Gingham Palace, and gingham is actually this fabric here, Vichy Caro in German or Vichy in French and in Spanish, and it's basically a very basic and available all year round fabric that you can find most of the times in cotton. And that is pretty much, like how we developed the brand. And yeah, so of course, as a small business, there's a lot of potential when using social media platforms like Instagram. And well, that's where we met, right?
Yes, exactly. I think I started following you like probably 2 years ago already.
Hmm.
1 year ago or two. I don't know. Time goes always very, very fast.
More
So.
than 1 year ago, for sure. Yeah, 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 yeah.
So, how are you balancing your life between being a mother and running a sustainable brand? Are you doing all the social media by yourself?
Yes. So yeah, indeed. There's basically it's a family business and it's mostly me with the help of my mom, and then there's also of course my husband and my father, like everyone is involved. At the beginning, it's everyone starts kind of like that, right? In the garage, right? Like that's the
Yeah.
story of a lot of businesses, and that's how we started. And as part of being sustainable, one of the things that I also wanted to be sustainable, just because it's my yeah, how I am, I wanted to be financially sustainable as well. So one of the things that works very well with this is in the sustainable fashion business is that you need to do small productions. And of course, that's not easy because workshops normally don't like to work with small quantities. But hey, and then on the other hand, we have the promotion, which, like mentioned, Instagram is a great platform to give visibility to your brands. And of course, you are so happy, you have everything together. So we designed the collection, my mom and I, and we took the photos. Which, by the way, it was a photographer friend of my mom with a model that was or is my friend, and the makeup artist was my cousin, my friend's cousin. Like everyone was just a friend. And then you have your website there and you're just kind of waiting for people to click on your website. But of course, if they don't know about you, how are they going to go to your website? So that's, I would say, like the biggest challenge of all, when it comes to promoting your business, that you need to, of course, bring traffic to your website. And there's, of course, Instagram, which is the main platform that I'm using, that I'm trying to do a lot of things there, because I also think that my customer is there as well. She likes to see nice photos. She likes to be inspired with new clothes. She's interested about, my client is interested about the environment and about the impact of her purchases in the environment. We promote, as part of our sustainability manifest and values, conscious consumption. So I'm always very happy to answer any questions of the
That's
fit.
good.
We have 30 days returns, because I mean, if there's no point in you buying something and it's sitting on the cupboard and it doesn't fit well, or you change your mind,
That's
you
good.
need to be able
30
to
days
return.
is a long time.
Yeah. So I mean, that's yeah. So basically, yes, I do a lot on Instagram. That's my main platform, and it's a lot of time. There's a reels. I think it was last year. that was something like, hey, I'm a small business owner and therefore I have to be a content creator too, and this is my content, you know, and that sums it up very well. You have to become a content creator, and you need to feed because your audience new content every day, and it has to also not just content for the purpose of the content. It has to be educational, it has to be inspirational, it has to also be
Exactly.
informative. So there's a lot of things that you need to do, but again, luckily you have the platform to do so. I like to do these things with you. I like to do a lot of
Thank you.
live events where I've interviewed. Well, last interview I had was with a human rights lawyer. I've interviewed, of course, I've had a lot of, lives with my mom. I've had kind of try-on. So yeah, I mean, I try to get varied but yeah, it's basically just me. So,
Hopefully, the internet connection is better now.
oh yeah, this is German Wi-Fi for everyone. Yeah.
Oh, I know. Back home, I never have Wi-Fi. I always have to sit next to the router, otherwise it doesn't work. I
Ah,
completely.
seriously, anyway.
So, how are you balancing between like being a mother and running a sustainable brand? Like, who's doing the parts?
Well, it's basically mostly me. I, like mentioned, had to turn into some sort of content creator. And then my husband is the occasional photographer.
Right.
Um, there's this very funny anecdote. On the first year, we were on holidays in Mallorca with the family, and I had some samples ready. So I asked the workshop to ship them to Mallorca. And
Mm-hmm.
basically, I just in the like behind the car, I changed and I took some photos. And literally, there was one kid like, please get out of the shoot. The other one was on top of my husband's shoulders, and he was like with my mobile trying to take some photos. And well, there they are, like
I love these
it's like
stories.
that. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of time, and
I
it
bet.
does get very annoying for the rest of the family, and I really appreciate that, and they kind of hate me for it. But it's work, and at the beginning
Once
it
it
is like
starts to
that,
get
and
taking off, they will like it. It's
exactly,
always the
and
first
well,
thing they're like,
hopefully.
"Oh no, you sure?" And then after, when it goes well, it's like, "Oh, I'm so happy you did it."
Yes, I'm hoping it will pay off, of course, and yeah, one day I will hopefully have a someone to help me doing this, and that I don't have to take all the photos myself. And I mean, I'm learning a lot. That's the thing, that I'm learning so much, and I'm meeting such an interesting people, and thanks to that, I'm meeting photographers. And one mom of the nursery of the kids is a fashion photographer in her spare time, and when I saw her portfolio, she's done shots for like Vogue, and I'm like,
Oh,
wow,
yeah, that-
so it's so cool. Like, yeah, so yeah, it is like that. It is like that.
that's so cool. So, are you also on TikTok, or are you just too scared, or not going on TikTok, or is it like, is your main audience still on Instagram?
Yeah, well, that's a very good question. So I'm following like an entrepreneur's fashion online fashion course, to coach, let's say, me with the brand. And they always say that you have to be on TikTok, and they always really like mention how important the platform is. But I'm too scared, like you said it. I'm a bit scared of the Chinese. So last summer, I had a university student doing an internship for us.
Yeah.
And of course, she's much younger. And I was like, would you like to take on TikTok? And she was like, yeah, sure. And basically, we do have, therefore, a TikTok account, but there's not a lot of content there. It's not original content. So it's most like mashup of older videos together. And to be honest, I haven't gone in, well, myself neither. I've just do it. If I visit TikTok, it's on the browser. So yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. I think that TikTok is really taking off, but it really depends on the kind of content you make. I still don't really understand what kind of content can go viral and what not. If I look at my own Instagram,